Okay, I'm back. And like I promised, I'm not going to show you the startup screen every time because, let's face it, never in the history of gaming that I'm aware of at least has anybody ever said, hey, I got this cool game I want to teach you how to play. Let's go stare at the startup screen. That really has no interest at all. The startup screen gets quite boring very quickly, so we're just skipping that. You already saw how I got to this point, so now let's optimize this truck route. I think I overestimated the number of trucks I was going to need because the last couple games I had a longer truck route and I needed more trucks. So I didn't guess very well on this, but here's how you do it. You look at when your train hits the station and drops off cargo. In this case, I think it was 52, not quite full. But I'm going to turn this on, you can turn that off. And I'm going to see three things can happen here. Before or just as my train gets back to the station with the next load of cargo. Now he hasn't even gotten to the food processing plant yet. When he pulls back into the station, do I still have product left that needs to go to town? If that's the case, I probably need to add a truck or two. How many I add depends on how much is left over. Did the product waiting at the freight station get to zero or one or two less than a truckload full as my next train arrives? If so, I'm in balance, no changes are needed. Or like in this case, he just reached the food processing plant, I'm picking up the last amount of cargo. So let's count how many trucks are going to run empty. One. I want to know how many trucks are going to be hauling air before my train gets back. Because as a boss once told me, we don't get paid money for hauling air. Transport Fever definitely doesn't pay you money to haul air. Air's free. Anybody can get it. They don't need me to haul it to them. So they won't pay me for it. So my goal is to not haul air. I want to haul cargo. I get paid for cargo. Don't get paid to haul air. So that's 3, here comes 4, maybe 5. He'll be number 6. And he most likely will be number 7. He will probably be number 8. I probably have twice as many trucks as what I need. I knew it was a short route, didn't really realize how short it was going to be. And I really making this road helped out a lot because it cut the distance down significantly. So I already know before the train even gets close to being back, I have too many trucks. Don't need them. Don't have anywhere else to send them. If I was getting ready to build my oil route, I would simply set up that line and transfer them over to this line instead of selling them. I just have them go over here and haul fuel. But I don't have anywhere near enough money to do that yet. I'm making money, but I'm not ready to build my next train line. So what I'm going to do is take some of these empty trucks, tell them to go to the depot, trade themselves in for cash, because they're just money drains for me. They have nothing to haul, so I'm just paying the mechanics to keep them running. I'm paying for fuel. I'm not reaping any economic benefit from them. I'm taking a financial loss because of them, so I'll just get rid of them. With trucks, you don't lose that much money with them, but still it doesn't make any sense to run a truck you know is losing money and not hauling any cargo. Now, since I'm only running cargo one way, I may end up losing money on the trucks hauling cargo, but it's a necessary evil because, as I already said, if I don't move this product into town and take it to the consumer, which in this case are the commercial buildings, this builds up a stockpile. My food processing plant stops butchering livestock, which in turn builds up a surplus of livestock out here, and then my farm starts giving me steers to take to slaughter, and my whole line falls apart. Whether I make money doing it or not, it's mandatory that I take cargo along every step of a production line and move it down the line and onward to the consumer. If I don't do that, the whole line falls apart eventually, and it doesn't take that long for it to stop. And then I have an economic disaster, and many times you can't recover from such things. Later on in the game, where you have more money, you've paid off your debts, you can take out loans, perhaps you can recover. Depends on how big the disaster is. Like I said, I probably won't do it this game, but if you try to go for full cargo, some of these where you start getting into goods and plastics and steel and slag, one contained freight distribution and production system may require you to run 4 or 5 trains, sometimes more. Boats in there too sometimes, and so it's very complex, and if you fail anywhere along there, it can shut everything down and just cause a huge financial disaster. Now I'm back in the green. So I sold a couple trucks. I still have too many, I think. I am reaching 62% of my need for food in Omaha, so there's still a little room for growth there. The 440 American is available, but I'm not going to upgrade yet simply because I haven't generated enough income to do it. I will upgrade to the 440 American and get a little bit better pulling power and a little bit better top speed, because the longer I can push my cargo at top speed down the line, the more income I generate. And so my first thing I'll do is upgrade to the American and add, I would guess, 2 cars. And so I need to keep that in mind when I kill trucks. I'm just going to be turning around and buying a truck here in the future. Not too far from now. It won't take too many years to be able to add that, because I'm not going to replace my whole train. I'm just going to change out the engine and add 2 cars. And when I do that, you'll see why I put my depot right here, because I'm going to use the depot to do it. That'll be probably the very next segment. Let's see. 1 truck, 2 truck, red truck, blue truck, now 3rd truck, 4th truck, 5th truck. He may or may not run empty. This is a race to the finish line here. I think he will be the first truck to get product, which means I have 5 trucks running empty. This will be close. It takes just a little bit of time once you unload cargo to get it over to the freight depot. I think we're going to get product over there before he pulls in, just by a little bit. Yep. Okay. So I had 5 trucks run empty. That's too many. Even when I add 14 more product on my line, when I add the 2 more boxcars, I won't need. That's 5 trucks. I don't need 5 trucks to cart off 14 things. So I'm going to sell 1 more truck. Let's see. Should I do 2? I'll just sell 1 for now, and I think that'll balance out when I build my next car and upgrade my train. So that's basically how you balance out a truck line. It's not optimized for the current setup, but very quickly I'm going to be ready to upgrade my train, and so I'm thinking ahead. It's probably going to be maybe 2 years before I do it, and I'm just going to keep a couple trucks running empty on the line until that point. Now, to be sure, they aren't making every trip back empty. The truck that runs empty is going to vary from load to load just on where they are along the line and who gets to the depot first. But I do have 5 trucks coming back every time that ran empty. Now I only have 4, and my wife's calling me, so it's a perfect time to stop. When we come back, I'll upgrade my train.